Welcome back to another episode. This is episode number 2. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched episode 1. Obviously, as you know, it was my first YouTube video. If you've missed it and you're watching this one now, just click the link below and catch up with the first one after watching this one. So today we've got an MT10 in. This one actually is coming for a full service, full pre-maintenance checkup. We're going to be doing from spark plugs, all liquids, to giving it a proper check over. I'm going to be explaining a lot of the servicing side of things, like what you as an owner of your motorcycle can do to keep up with the general things like tightening your chain. Obviously, if you know how to do this is a great thing to do at home. So stay tuned and I will be explaining loads of these things up shortly. Thank you. Just before we drain the oil on this MT10, I just want to show you a quick thing of why it's so important to actually check your oil on your motorcycle. As you can see, this customer has left the oil quite low. You've got minimum, maximum. You want to be about 3/4 of the way, not overfilling it too much, but you let the bike warm up, wait about 5-10 minutes, let it all settle down, put the bike nice and straight. You'll be able to check your levels on the window. And this is super important because if you do run it low and you are on a nice long ride out, you are going to do some damage, especially if your model of bike does drink oil. Some models do, some models don't, but a big powerful bike like this, it is very natural for them to drink some oil. So make sure you keep on top of your oil. It's very, very important. Just talking about color of oil and when it would be best to change your oil. I mean, most places recommend 4,000 miles. Some people recommend 5,000 miles. I always say if you've got a big bike and you can afford to do it, the earlier the better. It's not going to harm in changing your oil. I change my oil on my motorcycle. Sometimes I do it every 1,000 miles, just depending. I've done a few track days. I'll do it every 2-3 track days. This is obviously the most important thing of maintaining a motorcycle. This comes before anything. Changing the oil comes before anything else, because this is what is going to make your engine last. Like, looking at this oil, this is not too bad. You've still got quite a bronzy color, so as you can tell, this hasn't been done too long ago. But look, it ain't gonna harm in doing fresh oil, fresh filter. Just it spreads out the lifespan of your motorcycle. It's just really important to keep on top of. Okay, so now let's move on to talking about the chain. I've literally just cleaned and sorted out the adjustment on this one. Talking about how often you should check your chain is a question I get a lot. How often you should lube your chain. In terms of lubing your chain, if you're a commuter, I would say you need to be lubing once a week. Clean, lube, just keep an eye on it. Some people who commute, they run like a Scott oiler. I don't know if you've heard of a Scott oiler. It's normally like a little oil tube that sits in the back of your bike. It's a massive tube that runs a vacuum from your manifold straight down to the chain. It does automatically lube it. I personally don't like them. They are messy as anything. I am super OCD when it comes to cleaning. I do not like a Scott oiler. They chuck oil left, right and center. So for the sake of you spending half an hour with your bike once a week, cleaning the chain, lubing it, making it look fresh again, making sure your adjustments on point, it goes a long way. Chain can last you 7k more if you maintain it. I've been changing chain and sprockets for customers and they've not even done 2k on it because they're just getting a new chain and sprocket, spending 200 quid, going out the door, not coming back for an adjustment, which I say once, obviously I always say this as well, once you fit the chain and sprocket, make sure you come back next week, come and see me, free adjustment. It's just so once the chain has stretched a bit, you want to come back, get it retightened, and then after that you do want to be keeping an eye on it. You need to have 1-inch play, and on these powerful bikes, they do come loose. No matter what you do, no matter how you maintain it, they are going to come loose. You can do it by yourself at home. If you've got a Halfords toolkit, cheap place to get some good tools, if you are confident to do it. Most bikes, well, every bike will give you a marker on each side of the swing arm. As you can see, markers here, markers on the other side. This is all to do with your wheel alignment. Make sure when you do pull the wheel back, you're doing exactly the same on each side, locking it up, tightening it up to your torque settings, leaving that 1-inch adjustment. Very important, because obviously once you sit on the bike, suspension compresses, chain is going to tighten a little bit more. If you do over tighten it and you sit on the bike and you go out, you're going fast, you bang a little wheelie, whatever you do, chain is going to snap. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. You're going to hurt yourself back into your calf, or it's going to go straight into your engine and cause a nice hole, and that is a very, very expensive mistake to happen. So for the sake of looking after your chain, you can go 1,000 miles with a brand new chain and you can ruin it if you're not looking after it. So very, very, very important. Look after your chain. I can't stress it enough. Right, so we're just about to put oil in this MT10. Here at RMC, I only use Motul. I've just been using it for many years. I wouldn't really use anything else. I think in terms of the bikes that I do, Motul fits in all the brackets that I want it to fit in. Great oil, highly recommended. Obviously, there definitely is different kinds of Motul. This is like your standard road one, great oil, the best price for what I'm trying to sell it for. There is like 300V, way more, not really road oil, I'd say, doesn't last as long. We're gonna put the oil in this MT10. Normally when you're changing oil, you level it like I showed previously a minute ago, 3/4 of the way, let the bike run, and then you need to wait about another 5 minutes, and you're gonna have to top it up again because the oil is going to go straight to the oil filter, and then you are going to have to recheck it again. So if you do change oil yourself, don't rely on your first start up. Put oil in, start the bike, let it run, turn it off, wait 5 minutes. You're going to definitely have to top up. This one takes about 4.2, so we're going to bump 4 litres in there. We've got a little bit left in there. We're going to let it run, then recheck it after. So 4 litres has gone in. We ain't started the bike yet, so if you just take a close look here, that's 4 litres. Like I said, 3/4 of the way up. We're going to run her up to temperature now, and that is literally going to go straight to the bottom, and then we're going to retop it up after, and then that'll be it. Good to go. Right, bike's been run up to temperature and the oil has gone to the oil filter, so we're going to wait about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to retop it up, and then that will be your oil level completely set. Right, just pulling out the last spark plug. As you can see, these ones ain't really in the worst condition. Just going off another tip and why it's important to check your spark plugs, because the filament at the bottom, if that starts to wear out and you do miss your service interval to change these will not last forever. They do burn out. They potentially can make your bike misfire. Make sure you keep up your spark plugs. They ain't too expensive. Some are more expensive than others. Obviously, this is an inline 4. So you do have to change 4, so they are a bit more pricey than other bikes, but very important to change. Brand new NGK Spark Plug. I would only personally recommend these plugs. What they use genuine, what comes out of the bike. So we're going to bang 4 in there. Obviously this bike's an inline 4. We're going to put new plugs in, and then we're going to move on to the air filter, and I'm going to explain a bit about what air filter to use and in terms of the different types. So we just got the air filter. This customer's running a race filter, so normally we'd put a brand new standard one in, but with this one we're gonna give it a wash down, give it a spray, re-oil it, and put it back in. These filters, they are lifetime, but you still have to maintain them. So we've closed up all the top now, and now we're just going to move on to the coolant, drain it from the bottom of the water pump, open the top of the cap so it can push all the coolant through. With coolant, it's more of a thing, like it's never going to disappear, but you definitely need to keep an eye on it. If you do ride around like a busy area like central London, you are going to experience the bike getting hot, cold, fan on all the time. So coolant is going to hit like a boiling point quite a lot. Yeah, I definitely would recommend getting your coolant flushed out now and then. Going on to the subject of brake fluid, obviously now this is one of the last stages of completing this bike. We're going to be changing the rear, front. Brake fluid is another thing that is left without customer care. You need to check it. If it starts going to a dark colour, that means your brake fluid is completely cooked. If you're it's a hot day and you're going down country lanes and you're slamming on the brakes and you feel all of a sudden you just start to get a bit of brake fade, your brake fluid has hit boiling point. You need to get that changed. Ain't expensive to do. You can use a .4. If you're doing track days, you can go up to like a 660, way higher boiling point. But definitely something you need to keep in mind, especially when riding in the summer. MT10 is now fully complete. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've gained some experience from the things that I've been showing in terms of maintaining your bike. Please like, comment, share, and with the comments, if you would, just tell me what you'd like to see from the future videos, because I'm going to be doing episode 3 for etc. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.